Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? It's wee Paddy from across the shock, and this is going to be a different video for this channel. Um, I've been recently talking about the Canadian jam nut and how much I've carried one for years upon years, back to my bushcrafting days and camping days, because it's such a useful nut, and I never hear anybody really talk about it. Now, a lot of us who like knives like to go out and, even just into the forest for a walk, make a cup of tea, do things like that. Just little, not bushcrafty, but they are little, they are bushcraft things. But we just like making a cup of tea or getting a bacon bap or something. You and the missus, if you're out for a walk, or we go and drive in the car, we'll stop somewhere at the side of the road and we can do that if we're out for the day. I love that. I've got dogs, so they go everywhere with us. So it's very hard to go into a cafe with dogs. So we stop at the side of the road and I'll do a wee fire. Mine is now in this because I used to carry mine in my fifth pocket, as people will know when I do pocket dumps. You can go back as far as my channel's gone. I used them for years upon years. Always carried one in my jean pocket in the fifth pocket. The one thing I didn't do, and which I have now changed, if you watch my other video on the update of my EDC, um, when I had shorts on, I didn't carry it, which is just stupid when one of the main reasons is a lifesaver, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But anyhow, this is why I have mine now. There's about 6 to 8 feet of paracord in there with a Canadian jam nut already tied up and ready for use. And I'm going to show you how I do it, because so many people have asked, how do you tie it? There's videos out there with people who are much better at it than I am, but I'm just going to do it now because people have asked so many times. Now I'm going to do it. So you have your paracord, you've wrapped around 4 sticks. These are 4 10-foot long branches that you've picked up, you want to take back to camp to cut up for firewood or wherever you want to do. This is just one example of doing it, just tying up a loose bundle of whatever, tying up your sleeping bag to put on the back of your pack. It's just a real simple knot that does all of these things. And you can have as many of them in your kit as you like, but one on you is the one specific reason for it. Anyway, let's go on. So you have this, a little bit of string, and what you're going to do is tie a figure-of-8 knot on this little bit of string. So you just come down, you go around the back and back in the hole, and then you've got a figure-of-8 knot. Now, I like to keep this down near the bottom. I like to have about 1.5 inches, 2 inches at the bottom, because this is my release knot. This is the knot that the other knot, we're going to do another knot on here, jams up against this, hence the name Canadian jam knot. Now, it was called that by bushcraft. There is another name and I can't remember it for the sake of me, but it's literally just a figure-of-8. You can see that, just a figure-of-8 knot that ties up together. It's solid, it's not going to move, and about 2 inches at the bottom of it. Then what we're going to do is a simple, just, there we go, just your simple, you can just see it. I can't think what that's called now for the life of me. Just a hitch. You're just doing like an overhand hitch and a thing. So, and keep that now nice and close down there. This is simple. This is the hardest bit over. You take the other end of your bit of string, you bring it up through the hole, and you bring it down here. Okay, and this is your Canadian jam nut. Now you can cinch this up. So I like to pull it down so that it's near the knot, because it's going to have to move there. So the closer we get to it, the better it is. Just jam that down there and it's cinched up nice and tight. Okay, so you've got 2 knots. This one, when I put pressure on it, is going to slip up. This one is going to catch it, and this here is going to be your release cord. So that's it done. It's as simple as that. So what you do now is literally just slide the knot up. There's all your bits of wood all coming together. You've got them all different sizes, whatever. So you got it up there, and then just jam it. Move it up, jam it down. Oh, they're going in. Once you give the pressure on, it brings them all to a nice way. So there you go. So that is jammed. The tension is great in this, and the more you pull it, the more tension you're going to put on it. So it's great for pulling things along or just carrying them. The nice thing about it is this little string here that I told you about, all you got to do is move this up and it's loose. Pull it back down again, give it a good jam in there, it's solid again. They are solidly held together. If you want to carry them, you can, put another knot on the other side here if you want. You can have another Canadian jam knot on there and just hold them to carry something, a bundle of sticks. Really simple. Such a simple knot. But one of the main reasons I like it, and that I always carried it for, is a tourniquet. Yeah, it's not your modern tourniquets and all that there, but I have to say, when I was doing my first aid course in the Navy and things like that, we were told use a belt, use a, rip a bit of cloth off the bottom of your shirt, use that as a tourniquet. So that's why I carry extra. I carry about 68 feet of it because that'll get round most people's thighs just in case they cut their artery in or an artery down the leg. You can get it up above that and get a jam on it and try and do it. So I'm going to show you just how effective it is. There you go. You just pull it and you keep pulling down against that knot. Look at that. Look how much that has tightened up. That was going to stop bleeding and it won't move. You know, that is jammed in there tight. The other thing about a tourniquet, if you don't know, is for me, about every 10, 15 minutes, even 15 you can go to, but 10, 15 minutes, you loosen it and you loosen it. The good thing about this, you just loosen it by pulling that and it's off. The tension, the blood is slow and you're not going to cause any clots. To tighten it up again, just literally pull down. And there it is. That is complete. You can see how much that is tightened down. And it'll get tighter the more I pull it. But you have to judge on what blood's coming out and how tight you want to pull it because you don't want to go too tight. And again, to release it, dead simple. So even if you go into like a road accident or something, somebody has a bad cut in their arm, leg, or somebody's committed suicide or, tried to commit suicide, you can put the jam knot on here and stop the blood. Put it a bit higher and stop the blood. And then you can leave that person to do it themselves. Maybe not the suicide, that mightn't be a good idea, but you can leave the person who's, if it's just an arm injury or a leg injury, once you put it on, they can loosen it every 10 minutes themselves. Just give it a quick loosen. Yeah, the blood's coming out. So there we go. And that's it. It just opens up. That is whatever size bit of string you have, it opens up. I mean, that is a fair size. And I've only used it, was about a yard of it here. That'll get around a lot of bits of limbs. Not the neck. Don't do the neck. Definitely not the neck, okay? That's it. But the other thing I use these sort of knots for, and this knots for, is when I go and I make a wee fire, just say me and the missus make a wee fire, and I've got a pot and I've got a can of stew or something, I'll do a tripod, you get 3 sticks, I put wee points on them and jam them in, pointing so they all come in together. I put this around the top where they all join together and jam it up, and that's it. And then this side of it, I can wrap round the top and have it dangling down, and I can put my pot on it, tie it onto my pot and have my pot dangling. Things like that. Very simple way of doing it. Rather than having to wrap round and go in and under and get it all nice and tight, I'm only stopping for 10 minutes. It'll hold my kettle up over a fire. That's fine. And it's easy to take apart, throw your twigs, and nobody knows you've been there. So that is a Canadian jam knot, and that is why I carry one every day. Because you never know. And yes, there's modern ones in there, but they're just too bulky for me to carry. I'm not going to carry them. EDC for me is stuff that I'm going to use and I'm going to carry, and it has to be simple. And now I'm even going to carry it in my shorts. I've decided that's the thing all summer long. I'm going to do it now. I don't know why I never carried it in my shorts. It was just because it was something else I didn't need in my shorts. But this now looks nice. I can have my knife in one pocket, I have this in the other, and whatever other little bits and pieces I need, but that weighs nothing. Nothing at all. You can have it in your day pack, but the thing about having a tourniquet in your day pack, if you're separated from your day pack, you're back to basics again. This on you, you're always ready. And if you're walking around, in a forest and you need to grab sticks, I mean, sometimes you've got deadfall and it's, wrist thick and you want to take it back to the camp and cut it up for firewood. Always use deadfall. But this will do 3 or 4. You get 3 or 4 long branches, at 10 foot each, which is very hard to carry if you're, trying to hump it through a forest. Just tie them all together and just drag them there. It's really, really simple. You can put it over your shoulder and there's no problem dragging it. There you go. Could you give me some of the ideas that you think? I bet you have thought of most of them, but give me like proper things that you can use this for. And I don't mean that funny side of couples. That's not what this is used for. It'll cut the circulation off. Don't use it. All right. Paddy's away. Take care. I hope you can follow that and just get your own jam knot and carry one if you can. It's always nice to be ready. Take care. Bye-bye now.